Hello everyone, Mr. Oakley here. This is a guidance lesson called The Unstoppable Me. One of the things that I like about the author, Dr. Dwayne Dyer, on Unstoppable Me, is that he talks about 10 ways for your children, including yourself, to soar throughout life. And I thought it'd be helpful in this time of turmoil in our nation, where we talk about how we can sort of soar through this turmoil and sort of raise our thinking and our thoughts to a higher level. So I'm going to mention the 10 ways to soar, and then we'll get into a discussion about the specifics. But the book is composed of some beautiful poetry for grades 4 and 5. You guys might understand it, but grades from short start all the way up to 3rd grade, it might be a little bit of a complicated read, but still, parents, I still think that it's an excellent book. You should read it with your child someday. But pay specific attention to the 10 ways for you to soar throughout life. And I think it's appropriate for all age levels. So the first advice that Dr. Dwayne Dyer gives in the book is he talks about you're great no matter what. You're great no matter what. Think about all the disappointments and setbacks that you've had in life, all the criticisms that you've endured, maybe the failing grades that you received or a bad grade that you received, or even a time where you got in trouble with your parents. The point of the matter is that you're great no matter what, and you have to keep working at it. Number 2, one of the 10 ways to soar throughout life is that he says, Dr. Dwayne Dwyer says that persistence pays off. Let me say that again. Persistence pays off. For our younger kids, it means that you ever hear your parents tell you to don't quit, try and give your best, and still, like for instance, the little engine that could, right? He chug, choo, choo. He never gave up, and he made it to his destination. So persistence pays off. If you keep plugging away at it and you keep trying and you keep doing your best, it will pay off for you in the end. Number 3, welcome to the unknown. The unknown. What is the unknown? The unknown is something that you just aren't familiar with, or you've never been there before, or you just don't know how things are going to turn out. It's like swimming in a pool and you're in the shallow end, the 3 feet, and your toes can touch and you can barely get your head over the water. But your confidence is so high that you swim out a little bit further. And then you have to jump down, touch your toes on the pool floor, and jump back up to get a little above, but you're still confident in your swimming abilities. But when you get out to the deep waters, kids, and you swim out there, guess what? Sometimes there's no floor for you to put your bottom on, and you get nervous, you get upset. But you forget that you're actually a pretty good swimmer. Now, I don't recommend that you swim all the way out to the 12 feet and not be a really strong swimmer. But what I'm saying to you is that sometimes being in the unknown can be intimidating. It can bother you a little bit. But you have to remember to be confident in your skills and your abilities. And if you get too uncomfortable, always remember that mom and dad are there to help you, right? Now, in our case as adults, sometimes it's our spouses that are there to help us. Sometimes it's our own parents. Sometimes it's family members and friends. So no one's ever really truly alone. But sometimes you go somewhere and it's unknown. It's okay. Welcome to the unknown is what Dr. Dwyer is saying. Alrighty. You have a choice. Now, this is very important. It's very important to know that in life, you always have a choice. You can either make good decisions or you can make bad decisions. The choice is yours. What are you going to do? Good decisions oftentimes make our parents happy, and it makes you feel good on the inside. What about a time when you made a bad decision? How did it make you feel? How did it make your parents feel? You always have a choice, kids. Farewell to worry. Now, that's a difficult one for adults sometimes, and it's difficult for kids. How do you not worry about something? Well, one of the things that you can do is you can go and talk to your parents about it. And your parents can talk to you about things that worried them. And you guys can come talk to your school counselor. But remember, worrying never changes anything. In fact, it makes you feel kind of sick on the inside. And it never really changes the situation. So don't worry about it. Bobby McFerrin wrote a song called Don't Worry, Be Happy. Be happy, kids. Here's a very good one that I like. It's number 6. He says, peace begins with you. Peace begins with you. What does that mean, kids? What is peace? Peace means that everything is okay. Everyone around you is okay. And life is good and you have no complaints and you had fun and your parents are happy. You're happy. Your dog is happy. Your cat is happy. You live in a pretty peaceful place when you have happiness. But it all begins with you. You ever wake up in the morning, you're still tired from yesterday, you didn't have enough sleep, and you're a little cranky, right? And your mom and dad says to you, go brush your teeth. And you're like, right? That's not being peaceful. That's not being very peaceful. Peace begins with you. So if you want to have a good life, learn to be peaceful and learn to believe and understand and know that happiness and peace begins with you. Number 7, enjoy the here and now. Right? Enjoy the here and now. What is the here and now? And how do you enjoy it? What the author is simply saying is that today, this moment, this second, and this hour, it belongs to you. And what you choose to do with it is totally up to you. Me, I choose to enjoy this moment and not worry about the pressures of the outside world and all the things that's going on. I choose to be happy. I choose this moment to be the best moment of my life. I suggest you do the same. Number 8, and I think we all can attest to this, a healthy me. What does it mean to be healthy? Well, in our case right now, given there's a global pandemic, it means to be healthy means to be without a virus, without a disease. But one of the ways that we can be healthy is we can wash our hands every time we come in and go outside, every time we get ready to eat, every time we've touched someone else other than mom and dad. And even in some cases, it's best to still wash your hands or use some rubbing alcohol or use what I had, which is called Germ-X. Right? In fact, I'm going to put some on now and demonstrate. Just a little dab in your hand. And you rub it together just like you're washing your hands. And you sing the happy birthday song. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear. Blah, 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 blah. Happy birthday to me. All done. A healthy me. That includes working out, eating right, eating your vegetables as your parents suggest, and not consuming too much candy. All right? So a healthy you. That's one of the 10 ways to soar in life. Number 9, creativity is the key. Creativity is the key. What happens when you go home and you leave school, right? And you go sit down in front of your TV, sort of veg out, and then you spend another couple of hours on your phone or your PlayStation or your Xbox or whatever gaming system you have. And then you wake up, you're back at school the next day. Have you created anything? You haven't created a thing. What you've done is you sort of taken advantage of time and you didn't utilize your time wisely. Now, you may have had fun playing those video games, but did you create anything? Creativity is the key. Whether you create a small, short story, whether you create a cartoon character, whether you Whether you create a new clothing item, or cut out a pair of gloves, or make a T-shirt or something, just be creative. Put your mind to it. Exercise your brain, right? Don't rely on the television, your iPad, your cell phones, and everything else to raise you. All right? Be creative. Use your brain. And number 10. Here's one that I bet you never guessed was one of the 10 ways to soar throughout life. And the question that he asks everyone is, what can you give? Meaning, not what can you get, but what can you give? Right? We all have a certain responsibility in life. In order to become better human beings, we have to learn how to be better friends to one another. Not just to those who are fortunate, but also to those who are less fortunate. So what can you give? I'll tell you about myself. A long time ago, Christmas is my favorite holiday, hands down. But a long time ago, I thought that if I didn't have 1,000 million billion toys under the tree, that I failed my children. And it would make me sick to the point where I would just want to go to the hospital, right? But I learned over the years that it's really not the toys that matter. It's not how much that matters. What really matters is how much time you spend with your children. And I wanted to teach my children a lesson. And I told them that this is not what Christmas is about. Christmas, to me and to my family, is about the giving. It's about having a giving spirit. So we spent a lot of our Christmases in Japan, going to homeless shelters, taking food, taking clothes, taking toiletries, and all types of items to people who are less fortunate than us. And you know what? That even made us feel even more special and more happy on the inside. It made us really appreciate the spirit of giving and what Christmas is all about. So it's not a question of what can you get. It's a question of what can you give. Giving is caring. Giving is sharing. And giving makes your life so much more sweeter. But we'll talk more about this book, The Unstoppable Me, by Dr. Dwayne Dyer. And inside the book, with each page, Dr. Dyer has a beautiful note from himself. Oh, that's a school bell. Trying to change classes? No, I'm just kidding. There's a beautiful note from himself. And look, he goes, number 1, you're great no matter what. And so it says, you are worthwhile. You are simply because you're alive. Never forget this, and you're sure to thrive. So all throughout the book, Dr. Dwyer has some very beautiful pictures and poetry that we're going to share as the weeks go along. Okay? But I want you to think about the 10 ways that you can make your life soar. Have a discussion with your mom and dad, or with your brother, or with your siblings, and start to compose your own list. What can you do to make your life the best life ever? And not only yours, but the people around you, the people that you care about. And let's not forget those who are less fortunate. How can you make your life the best life ever? And that's about it for today, boys and girls. What we'll do is we'll come back, we'll review the book, we'll have a live session, and you can come into the Google Meet Me room. There's one for counselors. Just click on the link. I'm there all day from 7:30 to 3:15. If you want to talk about this book, if you want to share with me your list, please do. Let's talk about it. You've got nothing else to do, right? So take care. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And until then, this is Mr. Oakley saying so long.